What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Awesome Nerd Show. I am Zeo, bringing you more Marvel Legends, and this time we've got the brand new Build-A-Figure Venompool Wave. So first up here, we have Venom from the actual Venom movie, which is pretty cool. I think this looks really good. It's a great looking figure. And then we've got Morbius, the living vampire. I thought this would be based off the new movie too, since it, I think, should have been out by now. But I don't think it is. We never really saw a picture of him looking like this, and there's no real confirmation that it is from the movie. I think it's just a more modern comic look for him, but it's still cool that we got Morbius. I don't really like the look too much, but still pretty cool. And then also in this wave, we get two like symbiotes. We get Carnage and Phage, which look pretty cool. So we got the red symbiote and the yellow symbiote here, and they just look super cool, look super badass and creepy and everything. So those are awesome. I can't wait to look at those. And then we get two characters from the Spider-Man Maximum Venom story, where we got Miles Morales in the Venomized version and Ghost-Spider or Spider-Gwen in her Venomized version, and those look super cool. I love the whole Venomized versions. I've done videos on the pops here on the channel, so you can probably check out those if you want to see like more details into them and everything, but those are still two pretty cool characters that we get in the Maximum Venom. And you can see the pieces there like for the Venom Deadpool, that Build-A-Figure stuff that looks super cool. He's going to be big and massive and just look awesome. And then also have the Walmart exclusive Venomized Captain America that goes with this set as well, so we'll go and throw this in, and this looks super cool. Of course, Captain America is my favorite character, so seeing him in the Venomized version looks really cool, so I'm excited for that. So again, this wave just looks so cool. I'm super excited to get in and check these figures out. I hope you are as well. Leave a thumbs up for me if you are, but let's go ahead and get into these. So we're starting off with the Sony Venom movie figure, and this thing looks pretty cool. It's super big and everything. Like, you'll see towards the end how big it is compared to the other figures, which is pretty cool because if you saw the movie, when he became Venom, he did grow bigger. By now, I assume most people have seen the movie, but Eddie Brock gets taken over by the symbiote, the black symbiote of Venom, and then turns him into this giant monster. And it looks pretty cool, and it is based off the movie and everything, so he doesn't have the spider logo on his chest because he never came in contact with Spider-Man, but he does have all these white lines, which are just painted onto the body. It has a really cool texture, if you can see that there, just all the texture and details put into the body. Looks very cool. The face looks awesome, just looks like normal Venom, nothing too crazy or anything. Still has all the crazy nasty teeth, the tongue sticking out, the wide eyes that come up with the little curls there on the side, and then the rest is just all black. Like I said, he does have the white details there on his back and on his chest of just like veins and stuff coming down. There is some on his arms and on his hands there as well, but the rest of him is just all the shinier black color. So he has a giant body. He does have the claws there on his hands, and then the weird feet, and he has almost like primate feet there with just the way the gap is, so that's pretty weird that he's got that. But for his moves though, his head there can twist side to side and then doesn't really move much back and forth and nodding, just a tiny bit there. It is on like a dumbbell joint there, so it just has a little bit of rocking back and forth, so you don't really get a whole lot of movement in the neck. The shoulders come up about 90 degrees there and can rotate all the way around. He's got the bicep twist, a double elbow joint that comes up that far, so pretty good in the elbow, and then the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. He has an upper ab crunch there, so he can crunch forward and back, so pretty decent movements, and that's also where he twists, so he can twist all the way around there, and so it also gives you a good swirl. And then he has the lower ab crunch as well, which allows him to crunch even further forward, so he can go that far forward and that far back, so pretty good movements in the waist. His hips come up 90 degrees and out to the side that far. He has the thigh twist that can twist all the way around. He's got a double knee joint that bends up that far, so again, really good. And then the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. But it is such a good looking figure, so if you did really like the Venom movie or just want a different looking Venom to throw in with your set, this is definitely a really good one. The figure's really nice. It looks really nice as well. I wish we got an unmasked head with this so you could switch the heads out, but unfortunately we don't. But we do get an additional head of one with the mouth closed, so if you don't want to have the tongue sticking out, but with Venom you always need the tongue sticking out, but you have that one there and you can still see all the weird teeth. The paint job's not the best on the teeth, but it still looks really cool there for a Venom head. And then additionally he comes with two fist hands if you don't want the two claw hands, and still has the white painted on him there. So overall it looks really nice, a really nice looking figure, and it's really tall. Like I said, you'll see that later. So it is a good looking Venom, but I understand if you don't like the movie and just want a classic looking Venom with like the white spider on his chest, this would definitely not be one for you. And next up we've got Morbius, the living vampire, and again this is a new version. I like the classic version, especially from like the old Spider-Man cartoon. I don't like the looks overall of this one too much, but this is Michael Morbius, and he's a Greek scientist that had a rare blood disease, and trying to fix his disease he developed a treatment with using vampire bats and electroshocks to himself, but unfortunately that turned him into a pseudo-vampire with the need to consume blood, and it gave him fangs, a bat-like nose, which he doesn't really have too much here, and a pale white skin. And just like the classic vampires, he has an aversion to sunlight, and when he bites his victims it also turns them into living vampires. So this one looks a little bit weird. Like I said, I don't like the look too much. His head looks really weird with the all white skin, which is normal for vampire. He's got the vampire teeth, the red eyes, and I like the black outline around it. I just like that part, but the hair just all flowing back like it's blown in the wind. It just looks like his hair is just sticking up all crazy. It reminds me of a lot of like the Tim Burton Sleepy Hollow movie, like the Headless Horseman. When he was the actual human, it kind of reminded me of that, so that's what I think this figure is. But the rest of his body is just all in a black leather suit, so it's like a dark blue close to black color, just all leather, has zippers and button, a belt there with all sorts of rings on it, has got bracelets on there, and again the suit just continues all the way down to his feet in that same color, so the only real difference is the belt around his waist and the black collar around his neck. And then as you can probably see, he does have like this pinkish color cape on the back that's all torn up and tattered, which would be fitting for a vampire, but again I think it overall looked better if it was black and everything, and it's just a cape that sticks into his back, so nothing too fancy going on with this. And so for his movements though, his head can twist there all the way around, he can look down and look up, so pretty good movements in the neck. His shoulders come up 90 degrees there and can rotate around. He's got bicep twist, a double elbow joint that comes up that far, and the wrist can twist around and flex. Ab crunch right there, so he crunch forward and back pretty decent, and twist at the waist all the way around. Hips come up 90 degrees out to the side that far. He's got the thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that comes up only that far, so not really good movements in the knee. Shin twist right at the top of his boot, and then the foot can flex back and forth with real stiff, and then twist side to side. So you can see overall there, it's not like the best figure ever. I don't like the look of this. The figure doesn't have all the best movements and everything. It just is not that overall great a figure. But if you want a more modern Morbius to add to your collection, you could definitely pick this one up for that. And the only other thing he comes with is the pieces for the Build-A-Figure. And we have the right arm there and an additional hand. So we got that. And that's really all there is for the Morbius figure. And next up is Carnage. And this figure looks super cool. And Carnage is very similar to Venom and probably the second most popular symbiote. And it just looks super cool. So this again is a more modern version of Carnage. And so I like how he's got the all red skin. It almost looks like muscle. Like if you look close enough, has the details of like it's all just muscled out. But then he has the black symbiote like veins and stuff going all over him. So it is like a black symbiote just attached to him and just spread out all over his body to control it. And it just looks super cool. And the texture on it and everything with the raised up parts of all the black just feels super weird and cool at the same time. Yeah, I like how he's got all the little tendrils coming off around his body. Of course, the sharp claws there. I like the black fingers on it as well. And again, more tendrils coming off there around his back with this piece you can pop on and off. But then his face looks really cool there. And so this is, I think it's called like the Absolute Carnage or something along those lines. But this is the like newer Carnage that has the swirl there around on his head and the weird looking mouth. It looks almost like a tree mouth or something, just the way it is. But I know this symbiote is based off of like, I think it's called the Grindel symbiote or something to do with the Grindel, because the original symbiote died and Cletus Cassidy got attached with this new Grindel symbiote and stuff. So this is like this version of it. But as I mentioned, this is Cletus Cassidy, which is a well-known serial killer, and his connection with the symbiote got started when he became a cellmate with Eddie Brock, and the two of them did not get along very well. So one night Cletus decided he was going to stab Eddie Brock, but of course at that same time the Venom symbiote came crawling into the jail cell and reattached with Brock, turning him into Venom, and broke out of jail and got free. But while the Venom symbiote was also in the jail, it was somehow pregnant and had a baby, and that baby symbiote then attached to Cletus, turning him into Carnage. So very weird story there of a symbiote giving birth and everything, but it's still pretty cool, and that's how he got turned into Carnage. But as I mentioned, that original one died, and this is the newer version. So overall for the figure's movements, so his head there can twist all the way around, he can look down and up, so again much better movements. Shoulders come up 90 degrees and can rotate around along with a butterfly joint. He's got the bicep twist, the double elbow joint that comes up that far, so again really good. He's got the wrist that twists around and flexes back and forth. He has the ab crunch back and forth there, so really good back and forth. Twist around at the waist, of course. Hips come up 90 degrees, actually over 90, out to the side that far. He's got the thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that bends up that far. Shin twist there, and this foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So overall this figure looks really cool. And for his accessories, he comes with the additional Carnage head, so more classic Carnage looking face, and again without the swirl. So again, if you want like this to be a classic Carnage in your collection, you can just switch out the heads there and have that version there. But I like the whole swirl and stuff on his head, so I like this version a lot better. And then he also comes with the head for the Venompool there. So overall just a great Carnage figure, and I can't recommend this enough. It just looks awesome. And then next up we've got Phage, which is another symbiote. And so with this symbiote, it's a little bit different and kind of what we saw in the Venom movie. So Phage here is the yellow symbiote and is one of the 5 seeds that was extracted from Venom in the Life Foundation. So they extracted these 5 symbiotes from Venom and they kind of grew them or whatever, and then attached them to different people in the society to form a group called like the Guardian Symbiotes. And Phage here was bonded to a security officer named Karl Mach, but then he ended up dying later on and got passed along and everything. But still looks pretty cool. It's a nice yellow color, or more like a gold actually. It is like a shiny metallic gold, which is pretty cool. His face does not look the greatest in like terms of paint job on this figure. Like it's just really messy and dirty and everything. But overall, still looks pretty cool. It does look very much, you know, like a symbiote and everything, just all in the yellow form. The heads, of course, match exactly with the others. He just has connection with the eyes there, but of course the mouth open with the sharp teeth and everything. And then his all gold body with the black lines on it. It reminds me of like tiger stripes and everything. He's got the nice spikes there on his forearms, spikes there on his back with a piece that does pop off. Claws on his hands, of course, and then down on his shins he does have the spikes as well. So his movements are going to be pretty much the same, so it can twist all the way around. He can look down and look up. Shoulders come up 90 degrees there and can rotate around. He's got the bicep twist, double elbow joint to there, and wrist twist around and flex. Then he has the ab crunch there and twist at the waist. Hips come up 90 degrees out to the side that far. Thigh twist, double knee joint that bends up that far, and the shin twist there all the way around, and foot flex back and forth and twist side to side. So this is a pretty standard symbiote figure, nothing too different besides like the spikes there on his arms. That's the only slight difference. Now Phage has pretty much the same powers as all the other symbiotes. They're all pretty much the same, except one thing for him is that he kind of forms like these blade weapons a lot, which kind of fits with the things that are on his arms. But his accessory is this nice blade. You can see it's got the gold color that matches his skin, but then also all the like black venom there that comes out to the point. So we definitely want to switch this hand out. So there with that blade on his hand, he just looks super badass and everything. It just looks awesome. It just kind of sticks on there and he can use it to, you know, slice and chop people up and stab them and everything. Just looks super cool with that blade on there. I love the accessory for Venoms like this when they come with all these blades and stuff. And then he also comes with the 2 legs for Venompool. So that's it for Phage, and I think this looks super cool. So another great looking symbiote to add to the symbiote collection. And next up we have the Venomized Miles Morales, again from the Maximum Venom. So with this whole Maximum Venom stuff and the Venomized characters, I couldn't really find much besides just taking figures and adding Venomized stuff to them, like with toys and pops and everything. As far as I know, they don't really exist unless it's in like a comic book or something. But I know there's the Spider-Man cartoon, and they did like the Maximum Venom, and they go to the Clytar or whatever the whole planet is and see all the different Venoms and everything, all the different symbiotes. But we don't really get any other characters that get turned into Venomized versions. So I think this is just some they're taking characters and Venomizing them up. And so here we have Miles Morales, so it just looks like normal Miles Morales. So it's pretty much just taking the basic Miles Morales figure. It is like a younger kid, so he is pretty shorter, which again you'll see at the end, and a much skinnier body, but then just adding symbiote type stuff to him, Venomizing. So it's Venomizing the head there, so he's got the big smile with the teeth, the big white eyes, and of course all like the veins and stuff being spread around there. Goes onto his shoulders as well as his hands, and he's got the big giant claw hands as well. The spider on his chest looks more gnarly and everything, and then down to his feet he's even got the giant claws with the red there as well. So it just, like I said, pretty standard Miles Morales. They just kind of switch it up a little bit. So for his move, so his head there can twist all the way around. He can look down and look up. Shoulders come up 90 degrees, arms rotate around, bicep twist, double elbow joint there, and the wrist can twist around and flex. Then he has the ab crunch there, crunch forward and back. He's got the twist at his waist all the way around. Hips come up there a little bit over 90 degrees, out to the side that far. He's got the thigh twist, the double knee joint that bends up that far, shin twist right there under his knee, and the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. So although there's not much to this, just like I said, Venomizing just a little bit of him, it is still a great looking figure. I do love the whole Venomized characters. I just think it's such a cool collection that everything looks really cool. So I'm happy that they are making them in the Marvel Legends figures. I can't wait till we get more, hopefully, because I'd love to have like a whole set of these figures. I think it'd be so cool. Now unfortunately he doesn't come with any accessories really, except for the Venompool arm. So he comes with the left arm of Venompool, but no accessories just for himself, no webbing or anything, unfortunately. But still looks very cool overall for the Venomized Miles Morales. And to go along with it, we also have the Ghost-Spider, or Venomized Ghost-Spider, Spider-Gwen, whatever you want to call her. I'm always going to call her Spider-Gwen, but this looks very cool. So again, I've had this in the pop, so if you want to see that video, you can find that on our channel. And so we've already looked at this before, but this looks super cool. I always like the look of her a lot. Just the Spider-Gwen in general, with like the hot pink color and then like the teal color there on her feet. I always like that look overall, but then just this just makes her look so much more badass. Of course, she has the hood just like Spider-Gwen, with the hood turns into like the Venom mouse, so it's got all the teeth there and everything. Still has the point there on the back of it. Her face in general looks pretty normal, you know, just looks like a normal Spider-Man face with the normal white eyes and everything. So nothing really going on there. It's just her hood, but the hood goes into the teeth like I showed, and then it also has the tongue. So it's got this really long tongue, has even like the teeth coming out throughout the tongue, and it just goes down and can wrap all the way around. And so it's just this nice long tongue you just have to deal with. I just always wrap it there around her leg, but it just looks super cool with that though. I just think that's a really neat thing of just that really long tongue coming from the hood is just really cool. But for the rest of her, she's pretty much in just an all like dark blue spandex suit. I like how she does have a jacket on here, so like a pretty short jacket. It's got the white lines on it, of course, from like spider there on her back, which is a different weird spider that has the line through, which is pretty cool. And the jacket has some spikes there up on the shoulders, and then there on her arm she does have the white spikes coming out of her forearms there, which look really cool as well. And the last last thing that's different is there on her feet, where she normally has what I call like the ballerina shoes and everything in the teal color. It has these points there on the end of it, and then of course it all looks Venomized with the straps and everything. For her movements though, her head there can twist side to side. It's hard with some of the tongue to get farther than that though, but her head can look down and then just up a little bit. Again, the hood kind of gets in the way back there. Shoulders come up 90 degrees, rotate around. A single elbow joint that bends up just to 90 degrees and has the rotation. Wrist twist around and flex back and forth. Then she has the ab crunch right there under her chest, so you can crunch forward and back and then twist side to side, so you get a nice swivel in there. Hips come up 90 degrees out to the side that far. Thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that comes up that far. Shin twist right under the knee, and then the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. So as I pointed out, such a badass looking figure. This thing is just so cool. Like I said, I hope they do more of these Venomized characters, because I definitely want to see more. So just like Miles, she doesn't come with any like personal accessories or anything, but she does come with the main body part there for the Venompool, and that's going to be it for the Venomized Ghost-Spider. And the final figure we're throwing in here is the Venomized Captain America, and this thing is just so cool. Like I said, I love Captain America, and especially with the whole Venomized versions, I think this thing just looks amazing. Now I'm a little disappointed with the colors. He doesn't look as much as I saw with like on the box and I've seen with other pictures. He's a lot more darker than he is like just the normal blue. Like you can see up on his shoulders there, they did add some like highlights of him in lighter metallic blue, so I wish he was more of that color, but the rest almost looks black. It's another real dark blue color, but it does look black most of the time, so that's a little unfortunate, but just looks awesome. So it has the Venom face, tongue sticking out, sharp teeth, and then the eyes look pretty similar, except I like how they go into the wings on this head, and then of course has the A on the top for America. Then we got the star on his chest, and I like how the star is all spiky, so it reminds me of like a starfish, and has like some symbiote slime going on there. So his chest is pretty flat, just like it's covered in symbiote, but I do like how they did add the scales there on like his shoulders. Stripes on his abdomen are now look like teeth and everything with all the sharp points and all that. Just looks super cool. White on the arms, black or the dark blue gloves there with the claws on his fingers, so again has to have the Venomized claws. They're just all black or dark blue plants. I like how the knees have the knee pads, so I don't know what figure this is from, but obviously it's used from something else, but looks pretty cool. I like the boots that come up there as well. Just looks like super cool boots. I wish they'd use this on like a normal Captain America. I think that'd be cool. And then there's a look at the back as well, where he also has the star there on it. So for his movements, his head can twist there all the way around, back and forth, so pretty decent movements. Shoulders come up 90 degrees and rotate all the way around. Bicep twist, double elbow joint that only really goes about that far. You don't really get much more. His upper joint is really stiff, but yeah, you don't really get much more than that. And his wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. Then we got the ab crunch there, which he unfortunately doesn't crunch too much, so just back and forth a little. Twist right at the waist all the way around. Hips come up 90 degrees or a little over, out to the side that far. Thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that comes up that far. Twist there right at the top of the boot, and then the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. But of course, it would not be complete for Captain America if he didn't have his shield. So we get the Captain America shield. It's just your pretty standard shield, but it does have the Venom slime on the top of it, creating that star again that looks like the starfish. And then the slime is all the metallic blue, so I wish he was just all this color pretty much. But this is just slid onto a shield, so I'm pretty sure, yeah, you can just pop it off there if you wanted. But we got it on the shield there, so let's go ahead and just pop this on his arm. So there we've got our Venomized Captain America now, and he just looks badass with that shield and everything. So overall, super cool, and I'm really glad they made this figure. So it is an exclusive and hard to find, but we did pre-order it a while ago, and it did get shipped to us finally. So we're excited about that. But yeah, it's going to be hard to find at Walmart though, but it's just badass. So I hope if you find it, you do pick it up. And of course, that leaves us with our Venompool figure. So let me go ahead and pop him all together. So here we got Venompool, and this thing just looks amazing. This is such a great looking Build-A-Figure. It's so big and bulky, it just looks super cool. Now Venompool is kind of like all the other Venomized characters. He I guess doesn't really exist, but he did exist in the Contest of Champions game where Deadpool ended up getting to take over, and he created a fusion of himself with the Venom symbiote, turning it into this Venompool, and he has pretty much all the exact same powers as each of the characters both combined, so has all the Venom powers and all the Deadpool powers. But he looks super cool. So this big giant beefy bulky figure, he's in the Deadpool outfit, so it's just the same as always with all the black and the red. The red has all the nice material into it, like all the texture, which looks pretty cool. You can see there, I really like that. But he's got all the Deadpool, so he has the straps with the swords there on his back, so he's got the two katanas. Still very similar in face to Deadpool, just has obviously the Venom mouth and the long purple tongue which sticks out. Still the eye slots there around his eyes pretty similar. The straps going into the belt there, we have all the pockets and the Deadpool logo there. Pocket there on the side of his leg, and then the standard Deadpool boots, but then he also has these chains around him. He has little shackles there around his legs with chains on him, and also around his hands as well. So it's pretty much just a giant Deadpool figure, but then has a Venomized head and then the claws there. They're pretty much the only real Venom stuff to him. So for his movements, his head there though can twist all the way around. Not a whole lot though, just a tiny head on big body. He can look down pretty much just that far and then
up that far. So pretty okay movements. His shoulders come up 90 degrees there and can rotate all the way around. He has the bicep twist, single elbow joint that only comes up to 90 degrees, and the wrist twist around and has a little bit of flexing, but if you flex too much, it kind of just pops the hand off. He has the ab crunch right in there and can twist right at the waist, so it's kind of cool how much he can crunch and move around though. And his whole straps don't move around too much. They kind of allow him to move. Hips come up about 90 degrees, maybe a little under, out to the side about that far. He has the thigh twist in there and a double knee joint that comes all the way up there. Oh, he can almost kick his own butt. And then the foot can flex. It's real stiff, but he can flex back and forth some and then twist side to side. So a little stiff with some movements, so we just have to get to work on those and everything. But other than that, he still looks really good. A really great figure. Just looks super cool beyond that. So on his hands, he does have 2 claw hands, but you can go ahead and put these fist hands on so that way he can hold his katana. So let's go ahead and switch these out. So I have the grasp hands on, so let's go ahead and just pull his katanas right out and just slide them right into there. Hopefully they go in pretty easily. Yeah, just kind of slide them right in there. So not the easiest things to get into his hands, but still looks pretty cool with the 2 swords there. So you get a big giant monster with 2 swords. You're about to be chopped up and killed. So just overall looks super cool. So there's all the Marvel Legends Venompool Wave, and you can see the size difference of all the characters, like the movie Venom, just how tall he is. It's almost as tall as the Build-A-Figure and everything. And then just how short Miles is compared to all the other characters. So that is just super cool. What a great wave. I think pretty much besides like the Morbius, I think this is such a good wave. Like I just love every character besides the Morbius in this. But let me know what you thought of this wave down in the comments. What was your favorite character and did you pick any of these up? And if you enjoyed this review, please leave a like on the video for me. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Remember to stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.